This is Michael Hurst. We're here at Highland Hill Farm, and he's going to talk to you today about some pruning tools and what's wrong with them. We do a lot of pruning. As you can see, we have a lot of trees down that we've cut down, and we go through the yards and through the nursery all the time and are pruning often. Now, we don't sell pruners, so it's not like we're going to tell you buy our pruners. We're just going to tell you why you want to make sure you have a good set of pruners. Here you go.
Okay, well, here's 3 sets of pruners that we have, and all of which I would not recommend using, but there's 2 basic kinds that we have. There's the side-by-sides and the anvils. And what side-by-side means is it just slides sideways, like they slide back and forth. That's what a side-by, it slides back and forth. An anvil is one where it comes down and one side hits the other side, and that's as far as it goes. Anvils are good for cut flowers, and that's just about it. For pruning, you want to use side-by-sides. But each one of these has a little problem to it. This one, for instance, if you take a look at the blade's actually been bent out the one way. So when it cuts, it will never make a real nice cut to it, and it'll just be a real bad cut. It's been used a lot of wear and tear, and I think it's been used on branching that's too big for this kind of shear. This one's no good, because when you take a look at it, it's got a real bad burr right there. And that's right where you cut, so that's not really too good. It's also got the tip right there, but that's not really that important. But yeah, you kind of really want to have a nice clean blade to it. Now this anvil cutter is no good anymore, because if you look at it, it's no longer straight. It looks like that this one was also used on the branch that was too big. And the anvil cutter should be in the center of this part here, but it looks like that this part,
so it's off center now,
is bent out. Yeah, so this, and this, you just wouldn't use this.
This is, of all the 3, which is the worst one to use right now because of its condition?
It depends on what you're trying to do, but if you're going to do pruning of larger branching, this would be the worst one, just because it's not the right kind of pruners.
Okay, thank you very much, Mike. This video shows the difference between a 32 to 36 inch green giant and a 36 inch plus green giant. These green giants are very fast growing, and our green giants are fairly full and trimmed in the pots. A lot of people sell them and they're going to be very thin and straggly, because this plant can grow thin and straggly unless it's trimmed. These have been trimmed, so they will be thicker and fuller. The 32 to 36 inch green giant is in this one's in a number 5 squat pot. They grow very rapidly. It can grow upwards, this plant, to about 3 feet a year. They are planted 6 to 8 feet apart in rows, and the best way to water these is with our drip irrigation. Now, this is a overhead sprinkler. We're sprinkling them here today because it's easier for us to tend this particular group with the overhead sprinkler. But for most people, they want to use the drip irrigation, not a soaker hose and not a spray irrigation. This plant has nice deep green color. It is also deer resistant and offers some resistance to bagworms. So the plant is a very hardy plant. And if you were to take this plant and bend it right to the ground, like that, it'll spring right back. So it has great snow load resistance. Now, as you can see, this one branch here, that would be a branch I would trim back a little bit so that you don't end up with a double leader on the plant. But these plants grow fast and furiously. If you need to cover a neighbor and you want to hide your hot, sexy wife from your prying eyes of your neighbor, this is the plant for you. So give us a call at 215-651-8329. We deliver and plant these up and down the East Coast. Thank you. At Highland Hill Farm, we can ship trees, plants, and shrubs from seedlings and transplants to full-size nursery stock. We can ship on our trucks, which include F550s with 20-foot trailers, or we can use common carriers such as tractor trailers and ship tractor trailer loads or partial loads. We ship our seedlings and small transplants by UPS, and we also have planting equipment available for you for large purchasers of seedlings and transplants. So give us a call at 215-651-8329 for your tree and shrub needs. Thank you. We're at Highland Hill Farm, and we're going to show you some arborvitaes today. This is a block of arborvitaes. We have three types in this block. We have emerald greens, green giants, and Niagaras. And this arborvitae right here is our 6 to 7 foot green giant. And the tail on this can go up considerably over 6 to 7 feet, but we don't measure the tail. We measure the tree to the end of the main body of the tree. This tree is very, very deer resistant. We have a lot of deer in this area, and it suffers virtually no deer damage. It's also very resistant to snow load. I can just take this tree and bend it. And you can bend it way over like that. You can see, and it can take it. It snaps right back. It also doesn't suffer from bagworm damage like other arborvitaes. And it usually grows with one single straight leader, so it doesn't break apart after it gets larger. We like to sell this tree trimmed in a heavy trim as well, and usually that's the way we sell it. But if you want this open conformation, we can bring that to you as well. This is a field grown plant. It's been in the field about 4 years. This particular tree can grow upwards to 3 feet a year, and it's used to being planted fairly close to one another, so you can make a long windbreak and have a very tight hedge effect. And these are a little bit larger. These are about an 8 to 10 foot tree right here. And they're very, very good to plant because they're very resistant to diseases, and they are not as susceptible to a lack of moisture like the emerald green. These are emerald greens back over here. This is a 6 to 7 foot emerald green right here. And we do sell those. The emerald green is not deer resistant. The reason you don't see any deer damage on here, even though we have a lot of deer in this area, is because this particular block is encompassed by an 8-foot deer fence. So you can see the block goes on quite a ways. So we have quite a bit of selection here for you. So give us a call at 215-651-8329. This is the European hornbeam we have here at Highland Hill Farm. It's a slow-growing tree in zone 4 to 7. The leaves are simple, alternate leaves, 2.5 inches to 5 inches long. They're dark green in the summer and turn yellow to yellowish green in the fall. The bark is a smooth bark with a steel gray color to it. It develops into a tall, narrow tree, but it can also be vase-shaped in growth as it gets older. This tree will grow to about 30 to 40 feet tall. It doesn't develop a single central leader. As you can see up in there, it's going to have multiple leaders. The foliage usually concentrates at the perimeter of the branches. We sell this tree in a number of forms. We have it with what we trim up so it has tree form with a stalk, and then we also have it with branching all the way to the bottom and starting up. We grow quite a few of these, so we can ship them to you up and down the East Coast. Our telephone number is 215-651-8329. We have them ranging in heights from 8 foot to about 14 foot tall. We ball and burlap these and dig them with a machine, and we can deliver and install. It's a great tree if you have a small lot and want to have a very tight line of trees. And, you know, for example, if you have a house next to your house is next to your neighbor's house and it's quite close quarters, but you want to have some privacy, you could plant these a couple feet apart and it would develop into a privacy wall. So just give us a call at 215-651-8329 for this wonderful tree called the European hornbeam. Thank you.